Hi everybody, Jill here. Welcome to my channel. So we are doing another fall full face look today. I have to say that it is my favorite time of year to do makeup looks because I do tend to gravitate more toward the neutral, warmer full face looks in general, personally. I would probably say this one will end up being a bit more glam because that's what I'm feeling in the mood to create today. But I always like to give you guys sort of a travel in time sneak peek look of what I created, because that way you can decide if it's a look that is kind of intriguing and something you may like to stick around for. So I'm feeling that I want a little more coverage than even my daily usual, because I kind of want to create more of a nighttime going out kind of glammy look. Not over the top. I'm not going to do anything over the top. Still something you could totally walk out during the day wearing. But we are going to start it off with something. This is probably the heaviest foundation that I own, and it is the TRUEskin. This one went, everybody raged on this one and raved about it. And it is by Catrice, and it's their TRUEskin foundation. And yes, it does give you really great coverage. My problem with this line is I never found one that I liked for my skin tone that just sort of worked really pretty great. So I always have to mix them up. But they're affordable enough where you can do that, and that's very nice. So today, because I kind of switched that up too. Oh, wow. Need to wash my glasses. So today I'm going to be mixing up a couple that I'm hoping will land me in a nice neutral area. I'm going to be doing 020 Warm Beige. I'm going to be mixing that up with the 007 Cool Nude. My face. So I'm going to be just kind of mixing that up here. Now I'm going to gobble that up on my foundation brush. I'm not going to get all of it quite yet. And I'm going to just start applying that. This is really great foundation. It's very pretty, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. But it is heavier than what I like. I can definitely, through the day, I definitely can feel it on my skin because I'm just not used to this, sort of consistency and it being the kind of coverage that it is and all of that. So, if you're looking for more of that feeling where it just feels like your skin, you barely feel your foundation on, I don't think this is going to be one that you're going to be too crazy about, but definitely try it out. It's, my goodness, it's affordable enough, and now the popularity has died down. You'll have a better chance of finding colors that may work for you. Try it out because it's worth seeing if you're going to like it or not. So now I'm going to try something a little different when it comes to concealer. I'm going to use kind of a lighter serum concealer, but underneath it, I'm going to use a brightener, hoping to get, I don't know, just a little extra boost because where's the concealer? Here. I really do love this concealer. This is a L'Oreal True Match concealer. It's very light. Be careful. The little goes a long way. They really packed it with great pigment. But I need, I don't know, a little more. Something a little more color correcting, and then put this on. So I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to go in with this. This is a really pretty, this is by Becca. And it's a really creamy brightener for under the eye. It's also a color corrector because it's a very light peach. I'm going to go in, I think, just with my pinky And a little of this actually does go a long way, but it is really pretty. And it gives you more coverage than you think, but I still want to put, kind of a concealer over it. And that's where I'm not sure if they're going to play well together. I don't have any idea. We'll see. This dude here. It is an absolutely stunning brightener though. But I will say it is a bit grease painty in a way. It's quite heavy, which can be a disaster if you are very crepey. And I am quite crepey. So I don't like to overdo it with this because it does not like to mesh well with that crepey tissue. So, moment of truth. Let's see how this goes. And I also will be able to tell how it kind of wears through the day too. Is it going to are they just going to separate from each other because, the formulas? We'll see. Okay, so let's give this a shot. Well, right off the bat, it's gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah, so far so good. I think the trick will be making sure you don't put this on too awful heavy. Because we have this really sort of creamy thing, this is a very light serum. So because this is heavier for sure, I don't know, we might have to set. And that's what I haven't been doing in so long. I haven't been setting my concealer or my makeup at all. We'll see what happens. I grabbed this one because I forget I have it and it's gorgeous and we're going to be working out of it today. And this is an Anastasia Beverly Hills. These are, some of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Absolutely love this brand. This one is the Modern Renaissance palette. I absolutely adore the color story in this. That's pretty. I haven't used this palette in so long. I might have to do a few swatches. Okay, I think I'm going to want to go in right off the bat and really brighten up the sort of inner corner right through here, right here. I always like to brighten that because I do get hollows in there. And I think I'm going to skip the eyelid primer today since I have, I think, a good amount of color correcting from that brightener. I think we'll be okay there. But I want to go in now and brighten up that area. And I'm going to use this color here. I am going to go in with my pinky. So I touch without, I pull my tissue with this area here, and then I go ahead and apply it because I do have to stretch it out to get a really nice application that, doesn't have that skipping. So I'm going to pull it and then lay it down right there and then bring it up a bit. Yes. The frosty colors and these pretty chromatic, whatever you want to call them, they do accentuate the crepiness, but I am totally okay with that. I really am. I think they're pretty, and at least at this point, I am not ready to give them up yet. I am now going to go in with a Sigma brush. We're going to take a look at this here. This is great for covering ground, kind of really packing the lid area. It's wonderful, plus it's really kind of skinny, so I love that because I can get really close to the lash line, kind of lift the tissue that's falling over ever so gracefully, so I get a good application all the way down to the lash line. And I'm going to go in for that application with this one here, the one that I did that little bit of swatching. I wanted to see what that looked like. Definitely it's a little darker than what it looks like in the pan, which is what I wanted to see. So now I'm going to go ahead, oh, that's very pretty, and take that all the way down to the lash line, lifting the tissue up to make sure it gets down there. And then I'm going to turn that brush over, and I'm just going to really apply this right on my mobile lid. That is pretty. I am going to want to do that again. I want a little more intensity in this application. I'm going to wipe that off here on my towel and just kind of blend it up a bit. Kind of soften that up. Now, I do love to use, I love using this one here for my blending brush. This is, I believe it's 201. You'll see it come up here on your screen. That is always the correct number. So if I misspeak and I tell you something that's not right, whatever you see kind of in that editing, you know, when I actually edit, that's always going to be the correct thing. So I'm going to soften that. If you get in the habit of softening every application, you're going to end up with a soft look, even if it's this really, really in your face, glamorous, rich colors that you're using. You want them to be soft, and that's going to give you a really professional look when you're done. Okay, now that I have very little pigment, I'm actually going to do a tiny little bit of contouring with this color, and I'm going to bring it kind of up here to the front of my brow, and I'm going to bring it down in here just a little bit. I might contour with an actual different color for this, you know, down in here in my nose, but for now, I love, if I'm using something in my eye look, that's my preferred way to contour right through here, because it just looks very natural, cohesive. Everything looks just really nice. So I'm going to use this color since that's the one we just used. It's just, I didn't load my brush to do this. I'm just using what was left on it. And I like to contour right through here for me because I am just the littlest bit broad through here, being kind to myself, littlest bit. And so I do like to contour a little right in through here. Same with my nose, I get a little broad. That's okay. This is just fun. You don't have to contour, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to blend that to high heaven. I'm going to really soften this. And then I'm going to wipe this down here. I usually have a terry cloth towel down here. And I am going to really blend that really well. If you feel like you contoured a little much, go over with your foundation brush and just kind of soften it up. It's still there in the background, and it's all fine. All right, let's continue. Now, I want to eliminate some of this puffiness that I have right in here. And, you know, I'm aging, to say the least. And so this is just drooping as I get older. You know, I'm getting hooded eyes. That's due to aging. For me, my hooded eyes are, you know, maybe, you know, a few years back, I probably was about here, and now I'm here. So I want to put something right in here that is going to help with this situation and that puffiness. I'm going to do a swatch first just to see, but I'm thinking this is what I'm going to want to do. But let me swatch that. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to hit it right here, and I'm going to pack it first. I like to start here. I hope you guys don't find these repetitive, but I like to start here rather than over here, because this is the first touch. This is where a lot of that pigment is going to begin. You know, it's just loaded. I did knock it off. So I want the bulk of that to be here, and then I like to just sort of pack it in and tap, tap, tap. And that's because then I can feather it out, soften it this way. I can feather it out, soften it this way. Whereas if I really sort of go in here, then the feathering is going to kind of start way out here. And I'm not going to get that feathery, really nice thing go on until about here. And I really want to eliminate a lot of, or if any, pigment right through there. So I like to kind of start right in here, just kind of right in here, and really pack that in. If you have to wipe your brush off, do that. And then start kind of softening that side, softening the top, and just soften the whole thing. Now we are going to start intensifying the outer third of the mobile lid. We're going to bring it up straight a little bit to that puffy area. I'll show you how we're going to do that. Now, if you have wide set eyes, I probably would not do this because that's going to create, this is sort of what I do with, my eyes. So you might want to skip this part. You can, if you have wide set eyes, you can actually go even in a little further with some of these darker colors. Whereas I like to keep it bright right through here and then get really intense. That really rich color of my eye looks generally lands right in the outer third. I think I have my angle brush that I like to use for this. It's very similar to this, only it's angled and it's great for this application, but I think I have it set aside to clean. I'm gonna go and use a 501 and I'm going to load up this really pretty chocolatey color here. Now I loaded this more toward as if it is angled, and I left the very tip of the top sort of void of pigment. And that's because I want the bulk of this to be right here on the outer part of my mobile lid there. So that's where I'm touching first. And then I'm going to be really careful not to bring that color too far in this way. So that's about exactly where I want it to stop, right there. And then I'm going to just kind of start packing, tapping, tapping. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this up a bit. Bring it up because I do have some puffiness. And this is just a look that I like too. So we're going to stop there. I am now going to blend the top and this area right in here. Really soften that. Not going to really touch this with the blender. I'm going to wipe that blender off. Always wipe it off in between. And we're going to do the other side now. 7. All right, let's do the first application down here. Want this to be really smoky, really blended out. So I'm going to go in with 207. And we are going to go in with this color. And I'm going to take this, start tapping, and bring it to the corner, not this corner, but to the corner of your eye itself. It probably didn't make any sense. I'm going to load this up again with that same color. And again, I'm going to tap. I know this seems kind of big to use under here, but we really want this to look really smoky, kind of creating more of almost a contoured look, really. So let's get the other side caught up. I want you to see how far down I actually applied this because you're going to be shocked. But we are going to soften this out, but I think you should look at this more as the contouring step of the lower part of the eye. So I'm going to soften that out. This is such a great brush to do this with. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit more precise. So I am going to want to go in with a brush that will give me that precision. And yep, I'm going to be using 204. And now I'm going to go into that really beautiful chocolate brown, that rich color that we just did. Knock that off really well. And I'm going to put this right here and I'm going to tap it in, kind of walk it up meld it to the top part. And I'm just gonna do about, you know, maybe half. Just bring this, really taper this in. You want the bulk of this pigment to just kind of be right here. And I find tapping gives me the control to really put it right where I want it. And then I kind of walk it and tap it up, so I'm not taking it out this way too much. So we're connecting this. Now I'm going to grab that same really pretty blender, and I'm going to use that to soften that application as well. All right, I need a little packing brush, something that will allow me though to put this right where I want it. So I'm going to use this one. I want to say this is A505. Again, if that's not right, you will see it up here somewhere, and it will be the correct number. Oh, I've been dying to use this. I'm going to go in with this here. This is a fuchsia pink. And I am boring in that I do tend to use my clothes as my inspiration for my eye looks, and it ends up, I guess, really inspiring the whole look. And there is the slightest bit of pink in this shirt. So I'm going to incorporate that into this eye look. So I'm going to load this up. And yes, this does have a bit of a point. I think that'll come in handy. But I'm going to load this up. Look at that. Look at that. Let's hope we have the payoff I'm hoping for, because I don't think I've ever used this color. So I'm looking, and it's like, where do I want to put this? I don't want to put this over here because I have this really pretty rich chocolate color. Don't want to put it here because we have this really gorgeous sort of champagne bit of sparkle, kind of wet look almost going on there. So it's like, what do I want to create here? I want people to see this when I'm looking down. I don't want to bring it up in here or anywhere like that. So it's definitely going on my mobile lid. And where I am seeing, where I think I would like to see this color is really kind of right in here. So I'm going to go at this right like this. And I'm going to use it, and I'm not even going to take it up any higher really than that. So I'm going to load again. I'm going to knock it off really good. And I just want a kind of this really pretty, this is going to be, I just want, oh yes, see, that's so pretty. And it is just the right color, really. It's not over the top. It still looks great with the look, but I feel like it does kind of bring in the slightest little bit of coolish sort of pink color that I have going on there. So I think that's really pretty. I think it's just enough, just enough. Don't want to go up too high with it. It is a gorgeous color to use alongside this beautiful sort of caramel color that we have underneath the eye. So I think that's gorgeous. I really like that. I'm going to use a blender. Did I put the blender back? What am I doing? I'm getting too excited. Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. I love it. I am not going to put this color down below, believe it or not, because I want the statement to be the subtle thing that's happening just on the upper part of this eye look. So we're going to just leave it right there. However, I do want to, I'm not going to tight line, but I am going to waterline. But I'm going to waterline with not black. I'm not going to waterline with black. What am I going to waterline with? Yeah, I'm going to go in with the taupe, sort of a pretty soft brown, but it's quite rich. This is the colorful. I do absolutely love this. I use it all the time. So I am going to waterline with this. I'm going to stop when my waterline stops. I'm not going to force it in the corner. It just ends up being a mess. It's like a photo minute and it looks good. You blink a couple times, you live your life for 2 minutes, and it has completely made a mess. So I stop where the waterline stops when I do this. Now I know this can look a little much, And you know what? When it's all said and done, I might even go in and even do a little more. It just depends. It always looks a little overwhelming until we get our mascara on, and especially until we get the brows on. So I'm going to do that off camera. I do my brows a lot on camera. So any of my most recent tutorials, you'll see me run through that. But today, for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. So I will be right back. I do feel like I need to set under my eyes, and normally I don't, but I am. So I'm going to reach for a pressed powder that is really finely milled. Really like this one. This is the little mini. Highly recommend you get the mini of anything that you can find. You know, you save money. It lasts usually a good long time, and that's what this is. This is the Charlotte Tilbury pressed powder. So I'm going to load this here one up. So I want something pretty big. I'm not going to go in like I'm baking, but I am going to very lightly set under here. I'm going to tap, tap, tap. I think while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and set my nose. Okay. Okay, let's continue on here with this look. I have a little surprise that I'm going to do toward the end, so I'm not technically done with the eyes yet. It's going to be fun. Little something something. You know how I like to do that. But let's go ahead though and finish up the contouring of this particular look right now. So I am going to technically do my contouring with that caramel color that we used. So let's do that. I just found this. This is an Ulta brush, actually. And I think the brand is Ulta. So, you know, you might not be able to find this. It's just, you know, we just want something that's not super poofy. I do want to control kind of where I'm going to put this. But I also have to have it where I can load it up because I'm going into this here guy right here. And so I'm going to just kind of pinch this the best I can and just kind of, it's good that it's toward the end of the palette so I can kind of brush it over here to the left and load it up. Then I am going to tap it on my towel a couple times, and then I'm going to go in with this. This is a very warm color, but that's okay. We're just going to kind of build our cheekbone with it. And really blend it out. Tap. Take it here, kind of chin, bringing it under. I love this one. This next brush I'm going to be showing you. It's like this huge kabuki brush, and it's so soft, pretty dense, you know, and it just makes a good sort of huge blending brush. This is 105, so I'm going to really soften that, soften the whole thing. All right, beautiful. Now I'm going to go ahead and use that gorgeous bright pink, and we're gonna just feather this over the top of our cheeks. So I need a feathery brush. So the dual fiber brushes are my favorite for this. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with this one, which I believe is a Sigma, and I'm gonna be strategic and load it up. We're using that beautiful pink that we used. So let's just do our best. And then, boy, I am really going to touch it several times on my towel down there. And I'm just going to feather it right in here. I rather go very conservative at this point and then build it if I need to, which I will Touch, 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 touch on the towel. I'm going to bring that up in here. More on the top of the chin with this color. Maybe across the nose. All right. Oh, beautiful. Again, though, I want to go over this. I'm gonna grab a poofy, more of a poofy one. This one is by It Cosmetics. We have this one that works really gorgeously as well. This is the BK 102. And I'm just gonna kind of soften that blush application as well. We have the lips to go, and then something else that I want to do that I think is gonna be fun. Today, I'm going to contour just my bottom lip, and then I am gonna line the top. So let me get that contouring done. I think I'm going to contour actually with my Patrick Ta palette, but you can use eyeshadow for this. But I'm going to go ahead and use the creamy contour, and then I'm going to set it with a little bit of powder. But I'm going to just kind of create the illusion that I have a fuller bottom lip. You know, we're playing with light here. This color has to be matte. We want the light to really sort of sink in. We don't want it to bounce off in any way. And then we're going to put something a little, you know, something that's shiny or a little sparkly on the center of our top lip. So that's going to make it kind of jump at you, but yet, you know, the light's going to fall under here. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going to go in here. This is a Morphe brush as well. Anything that it gives you some control. And I'm going to go in to the creamy part of this palette. This is the contour. This is just a great color for fair skin. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to not be shy and really bring it down. I'm really bringing it down. Then I'm going to soften. Again, we're not lining, we're contouring, and that's quite a different thing, different technique, and we're creating an illusion. That's all we're doing. Now, I don't like to bring this all the way to here. I think it gives me a look that almost looks like a puppet, and I think it accentuates my marionette lines. So I like to tuck it in pretty early on. So right on here, I'm just going to lay that right up there on my natural lip line. And then I'll line the top, I think this time, with color and with an actual sort of matte, dry lip liner. They're my favorite. I don't like creamy lip liners. I want them to be a fence. I don't want them to be, you know, kind of like lipstick. Okay, now I am going to set this because it wouldn't last at all if I didn't do that. So I'm going to go back into my setting powder here. So for this time, I'm going to grab something like this. And I'm going to load that up. This is a Morphe brush. On the top. So now I need to decide, like, what color am I using? And actually, when I wear this shirt, because it does have a little bit of pink, I'm going to incorporate that little bit of pink in this look. But yet, when I contour my lips, I really don't want to kill the illusion by going in with something darker. So I like to keep it kind of nude, but that's okay because I always generally like my eyes to be the highlight of my look. I'm actually going to grab my little nub here. This is my all-time favorite lip liner. This is my Iconic Nude by Charlotte Tilbury. I need a new one soon. Oh goodness. I might have to sharpen this baby. We'll see. So I'm going to go in with a top lip with this. I like to go a little on the inside with that. Kind of fortify that fence a bit. Then I like to blend. I think I'm going to go ahead and do just the corner. Then I'm going to go in with Charlotte Tilbury's beautiful, this is gorgeous. This is Dance Floor Princess. It's a nude sort of pink color, really pretty. I'm not going to take it all around my lips, just the center. Then I'm going to go in actually with an Anastasia product, and I am in love with the lip glosses that I got some time back. I have 2 of them. This is the one I'm going to shoot for. This is a beautiful topper. It's way more sparkly, I think, than this one, but this is gorgeous just the same. But I do prefer this one. I can tell I've used this one a lot more. And I believe this is called Venus. Again, you will see it corrected if that is wrong. So pretty. Just the center of my bottom lip. It goes on the top, but when I do that. So that is a really soft lip, which is what I'm digging lately. Okay, let me get the little somethings that I want to use next. I'm dying to use these. So this is something that I got off Amazon. And these are little tiny little crystals. And we are going to incorporate just a couple of these in this look. So this particular set came with a hard case. I'm also going to grab, in case I need them, my tweezers. And I'm going to grab the ones that look like this, a little bend to them. See if this makes things easier. Here we go. You know what made me think of this? I am a Bewitched junkie. It's so nostalgic for me, as it is, I think, for a lot of you out there within the same age group probably. And Endora every now and then would come out with some crystals. Sometimes there'd be one here, sometimes just here. I mean, just, you know, and I love that. And I did even, I remember when I was a kid. So that is the inspiration for doing this, believe it or not. Okay, these are going to work great. I do need something I did not think about. I do need some glue of some sort. And I'm going to have to grab, if you have eyelash glue, that's the thing to use. But I do not. I don't have any eyelash glue. So the only glue I can think of that I could use for this is nail glue. It'll just be a tiny bit. I should not put that on my skin, but here. Okay, so I think I'm going to put it right here. Do it right here. Oh, there we go. Just right there. No. And we are done with yet another fall look. This is fall number 2 for 2022. I'm having a blast with this, so you will be seeing more, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.